Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. So yesterday, the Phoenix Mercury guard, forward slash, however you want to categorize her, Diana Taurasi, she finally is hanging up the cleats. I did a quick short on it yesterday, but I wanted to do a full detail video on it. Diana Taurasi, 42 years old, played 20 years in the game. Now, that is something that you really can't sneeze at, because of the fact of the matter is, it is 20 years. We just seen Tom Brady did it a couple of years, 22 years. Has 3 decades of Hall of Fame work. Now, some people consider Diana Taurasi is the GOAT. Consider her as the best women's basketball player of all time. Now, a lot of people could dispute that. You know, a lot of people have Tamika Catchings could be an argument, Maya Moore could be an argument, Candace Parker could be an argument, Cynthia Cooper could be an argument, even Cheryl Swoops. Yeah. But Diana Taurasi's career has been nothing but extraordinary. Now, let's recap last year. Last year, Diana Taurasi went for her 6th gold medal in the Olympics. Now, a lot of people had an argument about it because they felt like Diana Taurasi shouldn't have been there at all. You know, a lot of people wanted Caitlin Clark there for a lot of reasons. You know, some people on the Olympic team shouldn't have been on there. You know, Chelsea Gray, you know, a lot of them, even Diana Taurasi. To me, probably would have been good for Caitlin and Diana Taurasi play on the same Olympic team. Nah, that's just my opinion. But that's neither here or there. I think that what Diana Taurasi has done in women's basketball is something phenomenal. Now, the cliche that a lot of people throw around in sports is Father Time is undefeated. And we have seen it. Now, we still got LeBron playing at a semi-high level in the game. You know, I'm not a huge LeBron fan. You know, I'm a hardcore Jordan fan. I love Michael Jordan. He's my GOAT. He's always been my GOAT. I watched him play. I watched every championship game. So from college to now. To the Bulls. And I'm still a Bulls fan. But a lot of people compare Diana Taurasi work ethic to one Kobe Bean Bryant. Now, if you look at her game a little bit, she don't have the athletic ability of a Michael Jordan or a Kobe Bryant, but she has a package. Her repertoire in her game is great. She has a little athletic ability to her in her younger days, even coming to the WNBA. Now, I've never been a huge UConn fan, especially women's. Never been. But Diana Taurasi caught my eye. I got to admit that. She caught my eye. Early on in Kobe's career, I wasn't a huge Kobe fan until later on. I started to appreciate him more, what he has done to the game. And that's something that, you know, a lot of people will do for Diana Taurasi. I follow her into the W. She was one I wanted to watch because she had similarities to what Kobe and Michael was. She had that dog attitude. She had that killer instinct. She played with grit. She played with a lot of fire in her. And you want to think that, hey, you know, she was up there. Now, her accolade speaks far and far and far beyond to what we imagine. I mean, you could never imagine sitting there for 20 years in a game. I mean, that means you was dedicated day in and day out. Now, you still got a couple of people in the WNBA right now that's pushing that 20-year mark. You have Dewana Barner, who just recently, who started her career in Phoenix. Um, Recently just signed with the Indiana Fever, and she's going into year 17. You still had Tina Charles there. Um, and then now you have all the great the great women who not too long retired. You had a Mario Moore retirement, you had a Candace Parker retire, Diana Taurasi, and everything like that. So I'm not here to bash Diana Taurasi or nothing like that. Whether you like her, whether you don't like her, that's for something else. But it just you, I'm here to marvel over her career. Now, we all know the reality is coming situation with Caitlin Clark, but I think you have to respect the fact that Diana Taurasi really likes Caitlin Clark. I mean, yeah, she said some comments and stuff, and everybody have said comments. We got Sydney Colston on. We got players on the team Fever team now that have made comments and stuff. But when it came down to the basketball part, you can see the admiration she has for Caitlin Clark. Even one time, her and Sue Bird called Caitlin Clark her love child. Now, me personally, I see a little bit of Diana Taurasi in Caitlin Clark. Um, she, I think Caitlin Clark, her whole full bag of, in her game is going to come along. It's going to, if anybody has that similarity to Diana Taurasi, it is Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark is a little bit taller than Diana Taurasi. I think Caitlin Clark is like 6'1". Diana Taurasi is 6 foot and everything like that. So, but I think Caitlin Clark, will have her game evolve as her years grow. But I do see the attitude. She does have I think Caitlin Clark has the best shooting range than anybody ever in women's basketball. Her range is ridiculous. But she shoots up light. And I think Caitlin Clark will improve. Just like when we had Michael Jordan in the NBA, nobody knew when it was going to be the next Michael Jordan. And lo and behold, just like Caitlin Clark into the W last year, had her moment with Diana Taurasi. Same thing what Kobe Bryant did when he came to the league. He had his moment with Michael Jordan. And he went on. And after a while, he modeled his game after him. Now, will Caitlin Clark do that same thing? I don't know. Caitlin Clark is her own person. But you just got to show the respect that these two have for each other. And Caitlin Clark still said that she's one of the person that she idolized. And how idolized her game after. So that's a lot of respect from that point on. But moving on. Now, this video, I don't know how much is going to get played, but this video was during the last game of the season, and they was in the locker room, and Diana Taurasi, she stood up. You could tell the emotion of her and everything like that, knowing that this was it. This was her last time ever playing basketball. And she did a Time Life article yesterday, which I'll probably get into a little bit of it. But she did highlight one particular part. She said that, during this time in the off season, she would, especially in January, she would literally get herself prepared for the upcoming season. But this year kind of hit a little different, and when she realized that, she didn't have it anymore, she felt good about it. She felt full. She felt satisfied that it was time to walk away. And that's something that all athletes struggle with. They struggle with the notion of hanging it up. You know, like I said, I mentioned Tom Brady earlier, who was addicted to continue to play. And I think the situation with him and his wife made a decision because he figured like, okay, once I retire, you know, I could save my family. But it was a little too late. You know, would he made a decision differently and still play? Probably would. And I think what Tom Brady was, I think he was 42, 44, going on 45, if I'm correct. So, but, you know, looking at Diana Taurasi, you know, you could tell last year she didn't have it anymore. You could tell in the Olympics over the summer she didn't have it anymore. She barely got playing time. She rode the bench mostly in the whole Olympics, you know. And then you look at the past season, she was playing, you know, she was getting torched by these young athletes and stuff like that. And when you can't keep up with the next generation, it is time to walk away. It is time to say, hey, you know what? Hey, let's let these young kids take over. Let them have it. I did my time. I solidified my place in history. I did what I needed to do, you know, and that's something that you got to appreciate. So I'm going to play this video real quick, and then I'm going to come back to you. I'll probably, you know, I hope, you know, whatever the case.
Really good season.
Yes.
Really good season. All right. DT.
I think this is the video right here that I'm talking about. That it was the last game of the season.
I just want to say I really appreciate everyone in this locker room. I didn't want to say anything because I want it to be about us and our team going forward, but this has been one of the
you can pretty much tell right then and there that this
WNBA
was the last game.
every single one of you guys, and I really appreciate it. I'll always remember it, every single one of you guys, and
so yeah, so that's pretty much was the last game of the season where she played and everything like that. Now Diana Taurasi has she has a really good WNBA career. I mean, if you look at her accolades right now, I mean, it's astounding. Like, it's something that you can't sneeze at. To be honest with you, you can't sneeze at the accomplishments that she had. Like I said, we could go back to the reality of coming and stuff, the stuff about Caitlin Clark and stuff like that. That's just talk. But when she played Caitlin Clark on the floor, it was different. You could tell it was different. It was so much mutual respect. Caitlin Clark she got her welcome to the WNBA moment from Diana Taurasi. You could see them playing on the court. You could see them laughing, talking, chuckling it up, stuff like that. And that will be, I have a clip of that, and that probably would be the final clip of this video real quick. But I do want to highlight her package, her highlight package to show what it really meant, what she did when she was playing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best player in women's basketball. She will go down as the best player to ever play this game.
Diana Taurasi!
Taurasi on the move, scoops it up and in. Magnificent move by the GOAT.
Different ways she has scored over her career.
What a move.
How about the spin and finish from Diana Taurasi?
Diana Taurasi absolutely brutalizing for me on the arc. Taurasi just going to remind everybody why she's the GOAT.
Spin move, Taurasi, and a beautiful finish by the GOAT.
She didn't even turn and look. She knew that was 2 points.
One thing you can say, Diana Taurasi
seems like she can score at will sometimes, and she's in that kind of a group. She's got gold medals. She's got 3 championships with Phoenix.
But nevertheless, Diana Taurasi, she did everything that she needed to do in the game. She helped solidify women's basketball. I wish some of them athletes back then was able to experience the NIL era, like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Cameron Brink, and the Paige, the Jujus, all of them. If some of these women was able to tap into that social media back then, excuse me, you would see a whole lot of different movement right now. But since then, that's what it is. I mean, you gotta think about it. Time creates its own identity. It creates its own identity for in the sports world. We could go down the line from baseball, football, NBA, basketball, soccer, even, and just marvel of all the great players that have come and gone, and you cannot knock that. Like I said, now you look at Diana Taurasi's career right here. I mean, it's crazy. Diana Taurasi career recap by Underdog. All-time leading scorer, 10,646 points. All-time leader in three-point shooting, 1,447 three-pointers. Now, I think that record right there, that all-time three-point leader record, I think Caitlin has over 100 right now, and that's just in year one. Can you imagine? She has that. She could have half of that or close to that. If Caitlin Clark shoots, let me see. I don't know how many. I don't think it would take her 20 seasons to have that. It won't take her. I think she will break that within a short amount of time. I think, to be honest, I think Caitlin Clark, she definitely could be the all-time leading scorer when it's all said and done in her career, and all-time three-point leader. Now, second most games played. Diana Taurasi has 565 games played, something that I think Caitlin Clark could break there also. You think about it, 40. I mean, you average they having 44 games. They're about to probably go up to 50 sometime soon with all these expansion teams. Fourth most assists were 2,300. And to me, I never looked at Diana Taurasi as a big assister, but just to see her on his list, fourth all time, that means, hey, she could do everything. She's 11-time WNBA All-Star. She's a 3-time WNBA champion. She's a 2000 MVP. Excuse me. And she has the most technical fouls, 105. Safe to say, Caitlin Clark already got 6. So, hey, we'll see if Caitlin can break that. And then you also got more stats on this side right here. She has 20 seasons in the game. She was a number 1 pick in 2024. Like I said, 3-time NBA champ, a 2 times final MVP, a 2009 WNBA MVP. Like I said, 10-time All-Star first team, 4-time WNBA All-Star second team, 11-time WNBA All-Star altogether, 5-time WNBA scoring champion. That's something to me. Would Caitlin Clark ever lead the league in scoring? Well, probably. I think probably, because right now you still have the Jewel Loyds, Enrique, Asia Wilson. I think Caitlin Clark eventually she'll probably start leading the league in scoring. And she was Diana Taurasi was the 2024 Rookie of the Year, and she has 10,000 plus points, WNBA plus points. So, with that being said, I mean, like I said, her career is nothing to sneeze at. It's nothing to sneeze at all. Now, she did, like I said, this announcement came yesterday, but she also made her way to The View today. And she talked about, her retirement and what it was. Honestly, I do not like The View. There was a clip that Whoopi Goldberg pronounced Diana Taurasi's name wrong, and then when they introduced her, Diana Taurasi came out, and Diana Taurasi poked fun back at her. So That's if you want to see this on X, just scroll through the timeline, whatever the case might be. But here's the clip from The View real quick.
What made you decide that now was the time?
Oh, God, that's such a hard question. It didn't just happen overnight. I think it was something that, as, the seasons started piling on, 20 seasons, 12 seasons overseas.
Yeah.
I think just being 42 and really doing everything that I could have ever dreamt of doing on a basketball court, I felt full. I was happy. I was ready to move on. I don't know what that looks like, but I was ready.
Yeah, well, many people, and I think we all agree here, have called you the best female basketball player in the world.
Wow.
And one of the best female athletes of all time. Yes. But you played in college for UConn and guided that team to 3 consecutive national championships. In 2004, first-round draft pick for the Phoenix Mercury, where you won 3 WNBA championships. You also became an 11-time All-Star and a 6-time Olympic gold medalist, playing with the U.S. national team. And this show is not long enough to keep going. So we're going to say, what do you want your legacy to be with all of that?
Yeah, what else was there to do, really? Like,
I mean...
I think the one thing that I always prided myself on was the work. I loved showing up to work every single day. Like, I got that from my parents. They came to this country in '78, and they always went to work every single morning. Like, my dad would get in that car at 4 a.m., drive an hour and a half, and that's just what you did. You got up and you went to work, and you try to make the best of it for you and your family. And that's what I tried to do for my teammates, show up for them every single day. And that loyalty to me was always huge. Playing on one WNBA team, playing at UConn for 4 years, putting on that USA jersey for 20 years and 6 Olympics.
God.
But, dreams are made of it. Like, you can't write that. That's a fairy tale.
Dreams are made of just parts of your career.
But that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing for all these young'uns coming up who now know it is possible.
Absolutely.
And particularly for female.
All right, so that's just a few of the moments of The View and everything. Like I say, Whoopi Goldberg, I don't think some of these women watch basketball like that. I'm sure they had to Google search Diana Taurasi and everything. But like I said, Diana Taurasi's career, and everything. Now, what is next for Diana Taurasi? Who knows? She could be in broadcasting. I mean, she done had a couple of podcasts with Sue Bird. She probably will join Sue Bird on her show, and she'll probably start something. She'd probably be a good analyst. She loves talking sports. She's a good communicator. She could definitely articulate herself very, very well. And she probably would be a little funny, cracking jokes as always, in Diana Taurasi fashion. But like I say, Father Time doesn't wait on anyone. And it shows that Diana Taurasi was gracious enough to say, hey, I'm done, instead of trying to play another season and get injured and then be forced out of the league. And that is a bad way to go. That's a bad way to go when you on the top of your game. You won your 6th gold medal. There was nothing else. Your team was never going to, they made it to the playoff, but they wasn't going to win a WNBA title or nothing like that, and you was just playing just to get through the season. You got through the season, and, it was tough. And at the end of the day, it was actually, a great experience, watching you from afar and away, in and out of the W and stuff like that. But now the future of the W is moving along, because we have a lot of young talent headlined by Caitlin Clark. And I want to show something that shows that, to me, it solidified a lot about the torch being passed. Now, I alluded to early in the video that Caitlin Clark, to me, is could be the next Diana Taurasi. And I'm not talking about the attitude. I'm not talking about all the little crazy stuff that goes on. I'm just talking about from a basketball standpoint. Like I say, you could agree with me, disagree with me, but I do see a little bit of Diana Taurasi and Caitlin Clark. It's just me. You look at her, you know, now, but Caitlin Clark has a different swag about herself, you know, and they carry themselves a different way. Same way how Michael Jordan was. Kobe was different. But when it came to that basketball, when it came to being on that court, Caitlin Clark is ruthless as ever. And I think Caitlin Clark she's going to take a significant jump going into next year. You know, her rookie year was her rookie year. She got records, you know, could have had more, but she solidified herself. You know, a lot of players, you know, came at her, you know, for different reasons and stuff, but she made a stance. She weathered the storm. And now you see the changing of the guard. Right here. This right here is the moment for me when I knew that the torch has been finally passed. The embrace, the conversations, the way they looked at each other, the laugh. And I'm sure Diana Taurasi gave Caitlin Clark some really, 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 really good advice. And the thing about it is, they played against each other in the All-Star game. Caitlin Clark beat her. She beat her in the regular season. Diana Taurasi never beat her. So that's something Caitlin Clark could hang over her head, you know. And some people will say, well, Diana Taurasi was 42 years old when Caitlin Clark beat her. Nevertheless, she beat her, you know what I'm saying, head up. And I'm sure, you know, they made the whole promotion, the beginning of 2024 season, the GOAT versus the Rook, you know, and that was one of the highlight games, you know, that we were thinking that, hey, the Indian Fever going to have a tough task, but no, they didn't. They stood tall, beat them, not once, not twice, 3 times. So, and it was great to see them match up against each other. So I think the last time they played the final game, I don't think Diana Taurasi played in that game. I think that's the game Brittany Griner went out. She was hurt too and stuff like that. And I think that's the game that the Fever actually blew them out. But nevertheless, I'm gonna share this last clip, and then you know what I always do.
And number 17, Amber Wheeler, the Indian Fever, and number 0, Natasha Cloud, and number 2.
Right there. So, to me, we have a new face of the league. Caitlin Clark is the face of the league. I just think that this moment solidifies Diana Taurasi passing the torch on to Caitlin Clark. It's the way Michael did it with Kobe. And you know how much Michael Jordan loved him some Kobe Bryant. Love him like a brother. So, and I just think that the same way, you know, with Diana Taurasi and Caitlin Clark. So, with that being said, congratulations, Diana Taurasi, on a magnificent career. Wherever your journey takes you from this point on, I hope it's be nothing but much success. You was one hell of a basketball player, you know. And it just, you know, like I said, it's just been, you know, great to see it from afar. But now, you know, it's a whole new nuance in the WNBA. Things are changing. The league is not going to be the same anymore. They're going to have more expansive teams coming. There's going to be more games coming. You know, they're going from 44 right now. I can see 50, 55 maybe, or 52. Who knows where it might go. You know, they got a new CBA on the deal coming in. So the landscape of the WNBA is changing. I just hope that it changes. You know, as long as you have a person like Caitlin Clark in the league and continue to go on, it's going to be, I think it's going to be great. But you still got to get some of this old nonsense out the league. That's my take. Get rid of some of this old nonsense and just focus on basketball itself without the politics and stuff. and I think everything will be fine. So until the next episode, this is your boy Livewire Sports. Salute to Diana Taurasi on a great career. And again, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll be back with another video.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.